Have you ever felt like fear is constantly lurking behind your decisions? Do you find yourself hesitating, doubting, or holding back? Not because you don't want to move forward, but because you're afraid of what might happen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm truly honored to be here with you again. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most universal and paralyzing experiences in human life, fear. We're not just going to talk about fear in general, but how to live without being ruled by it. How do you move through the world with strength, grace, and clarity even when fear rises? We're going to explore 3 fundamental shifts in perspectives, 3 inner realizations that can radically change your relationship with fear and ultimately your life. You live in a world filled with uncertainty. Every day, we face questions we cannot answer. Will I succeed? Will I be loved? Will I lose what I cherish? This unpredictability naturally breeds fear, but fear itself is not the enemy. It's how we relate to it that determines whether we grow or stay stuck. Let me share a story with you. A man named Doran lived a life defined by hesitation. As a child, he was punished for speaking up, so he learned to stay silent. As an adult, he avoided risk. He stayed in a job he hated, stayed in a relationship that no longer served him, and denied every dream that asked him to step beyond the familiar. One day, while walking in a forest to clear his mind, he stumbled upon a cliffside. Something about it called to him. Not to jump, but to really look at the vastness, the depth, and suddenly a voice rose in him, not external, but internal. It said, "You're not afraid of falling, you're afraid of flying." That moment became a turning point. The first shift is understanding the true nature of fear. Fear is often not about the external world. It's about the stories we tell ourselves. The mind anticipates pain, embarrassment, failure, projects worst-case scenarios, and because the body can't tell the difference between thought and reality, it reacts as if the danger is happening now. Our heart races, our palms sweat, our mind spirals. But what if you could pause and examine the story? What if you asked, is this thought true? Is it helpful? What's it trying to protect me from? That inquiry alone begins to soften the grip of fear. You begin to realize that fear is not it's a defense mechanism. And like all defenses, it has value, but only when you're conscious of it. The second shift is developing internal stability. Most of our fear comes from anchoring our identity in things we can lose, or job, or status, or relationships, even our body. But everything external is subject to change. If your sense of safety depends on what's outside you, you'll live in perpetual anxiety. True confidence comes from building an inner refuge. This doesn't mean withdrawing from the world. It means cultivating qualities that no one can take from you: integrity, clarity, resilience, compassion. When you begin to value your own presence more than any outcome, fear loses its power. Let me tell you about a woman named Simone. She was a successful executive but constantly lived in fear of losing her position. Every decision was clouded by the need to protect her image. He couldn't speak freely, couldn't rest, couldn't enjoy her life, and he began practicing mindfulness not as a technique, but as a way of life. He started observing her thoughts, recognizing her patterns, and slowly disentangling her worth from her work. Over time, he realized, even if I lose this role, I don't lose myself. That realization freed her. He became more bold, more honest, and ironically, more respected. That's the paradox. When you stop living in fear, you become more effective, because you're no longer paralyzed by outcomes, or guided by values. The third and most transformative shift is embracing impermanence. We fear because we resist change. You want permanence in a world that is inherently fluid, but the Buddha taught that all things are impermanent. Everything rises and passes, ye joy, a sorrow, success, failure, even life itself. This truth can feel harsh, but it's also liberating. When you accept impermanence, you stop clinging, you stop resisting, you begin to flow with life, not against it. And in that flow, fear begins to dissolve. There's a story of a monk who was once captured by bandits. They threatened to kill him, expecting him to plead for mercy. Instead, he sat calmly and said, "You can kill my body, but you cannot touch my mind." They were so confused by his fearlessness that they eventually let him go. How could he be so calm? Because he had trained himself not to fear death, not in a morbid way, but in a deeply spiritual way. He had seen that death is not the end, but a transition. That realization gave him unshakable courage. You don't have to be a monk to develop that strength. You just have to practice letting go of outcomes, of identities, of illusions of control. Start small. Notice where fear shows up in your day. You fear being judged, rejected, ignored. Notice loved. Ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? And then go deeper. What would happen if that fear came true? Would I survive? Would I still be me? Most of the time, you'll find that the fear is based on an image, not reality. And once you see through the image, the fear loses its power. But let's be real, this takes time, and it's okay to be afraid. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the willingness to act anyway. It's choosing to show up, to speak up, to love, even when it's scary. One of the most powerful practices to dissolve fear is gratitude. Why? Because fear focuses on what might go wrong. Gratitude focuses on what is already right. When you anchor yourself in what you already have, what you already are, fear has less room to grow. Try this each night before bed. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not grand things, simple ones. Kind word, breath of fresh air, moment of laughter. Over time, this reconditions your mind to see abundance, not threat. Another tool is breath. Fear lives in the future. The breath brings you back to now. Whenever you feel fear rising, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Feel your feet on the ground. Return to the moment. This moment, you are okay. This breath, you are whole. Let's end with this. The path to fearlessness is not about becoming invincible. It's about becoming real. It's about meeting life as it is, with open eyes and an open heart. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, you have the strength to face it. You were not born to live in a cage of what ifs. You were born to fly. And yes, the wind will be strong, the sky may be dark, but your wings were made for this. Thank you for watching this video. If these words resonated with you, if they stirred something inside, please share your thoughts in the comments. What fears have you faced? What helped you rise above them? Like, subscribe, and be part of our growing community. Together, we are learning to live from truth, not from fear. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you know. Your light is needed in this world. Thank you for watching.